Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gunpowder and Freedom. So I was planning on starting this video tomorrow. Windows are finished, just finished that up now. If you guys missed that video, you can check out the link here. But I'm over here, it's only 4 o'clock, so it's still relatively early. It is dry-ish. Out front's really nice and dry. Back here's a little bit wet and slimy, but it's not really that big of a deal. Like I said, I was going to do this all tomorrow since it's a rain day, but I do have some outside work to help get myself situated for this next project. So let me get the machine set up and my materials gathered up, and then I will walk you through what we're gonna try to accomplish. All right, guys. So this is the storage area underneath my garage bay. As you can see, we have an opening here that we have stone spilling into. That was from whenever I ran my French drain pipe and backfilled on the outside. What I need to do is open that up so that I can run another French drain pipe in through here, around here, and stubbing it out that hole. So we're gonna just, I brought my tape measure over, but I can see that opening is basically in line with this smaller panel outline. So I can follow that back on the outside, dig a hole. Then once I'm done there, I can bring my shovel in, clear this footer off, throw my French drain pipe down, cover it with stone, and then we should be good to be able to get the machine in here and do some rough in grading. So that's the plan. Enjoy the time lapse. French drain pipes in, got it connected on this side, stubbed out that hole over there, actually butted up real nice next to the exterior French drain. Now I can go ahead and bring some 2B gravel in, sprinkle it on top of that, fill it in with 2B limestone next so I can get the machine in and out without crushing that pipe. And I guess try to get some stuff done and be ahead of schedule. That's nice. Okay, so we got our ramp built to come in. The French drain's all covered with some nice 2B river rock gravel. That allows for a lot better drainage. The limestone's really nice and will be fine if you use it for a French drain. It just compacts a lot tighter. That's why we use it for our subfloors whenever we're doing like a base for our concrete. It compacts really nice. You drive a machine over it a couple times. It's good and solid. That river rock likes to kind of twist and turn since they're all rounded. So ideal for drainage, not really that ideal for a base, even though we do it from time to time if the builder specifies, hey, we want to use gravel, not limestone. But regardless, it still works, just, you know, we have a preference. But once I got that done, just like in the main basement, I went ahead and leveled off all of the crushed concrete that I brought in previously. And as I'm doing this, I thought to myself, why did I try to fill that back in? I'm just gonna end up digging that out when I take my sewer pipe out of that hole. So now what I'm gonna do is go up to my truck, get my laser, figure out where my drop's gonna be coming down, and paint out a line straight 45, 45, then out that hole. And yes, when you're doing underground plumbing, and that pipe is laying on its side and you're turning on the side, you want to do 45s, not 90s. 90s, you have a higher tendency of clogging. You know, waste will kind of build up there and it just doesn't flow nice. So underground plumbing on its side, you need to use 45. So we'll figure all that out, get it painted out, and then probably do the digging tomorrow. All right, so I went up top. I measured where I want my pipe coming down through the floor. I had to subtract 4 inches because we have a 4-inch lip up here that the docks planks sit on. So once we found my number, I measured over in a couple places, got a paint line. Don't mind the laser blinking, it is at a plumb. But I did set the laser up, shot it down my marks, and then positioned my other vertical line where I wanted it going out of that hole. And from there, I was able to paint a line. Now, right before I picked up the camera to film this, I bumped it, spent a couple minutes trying to get it repositioned for you guys, but ultimately I just said, whatever, they'll get the gist of it. One thing I do need to get some clarification on is, since I have to use 45s for my underground for here, I need to call my plumber friend and ask, am I allowed to run my 45s tight like that? Or do they need to be positioned more or less like that to allow for a smoother transition for that waste to kind of flex around that turn? So once I have that figured out, I can go ahead and run these pipe after I get the ditch dug. Now, the way this is going to work is we're using a 3-inch drop coming down here. That'll 45 over, and then hit a bushing that transfers that to a 4-inch pipe, and that 4-inch pipe carries the whole way around. So that's that. We got the paint marked out. We got everything basically situated. I'm gonna get some more plumbing materials over here so that it's ready to go for in the morning. And yeah, we'll probably put a wrap on it for tonight. So I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. Okay guys, so we're back here Wednesday morning. A little bit behind schedule. It's about 8 o'clock. I was shooting to be over here about 7. Some things came up this morning, but taking the last of my stuff down to that storage area, doing this part up here just because I have the generator running, machines warming up. As you guys saw yesterday, I have the lines painted out, so we're going to jump to the machine, dig our ditch. We'll cut that footer down. That way our pipe sits nice and low on that footer, and we don't create a weak spot in the concrete. A lot of times what happens is when you get a drop coming from your first floor to your basement, like we're doing here, some plumbers will just choose to take a 3-inch drop and 45 or 90 it around that footer. What they're doing there is we shoot for about 4 to 5 inches of concrete in our basement floors. So what they're doing with that is, on that footer, we're going from a nice consistent 4 to 5 inches of concrete down to about 1 to 2, just a coating over top of that pipe. We're creating a weak spot there by doing that. So we want to chisel out that footer just a couple inches, just to try to get 4 inches of concrete in that particular area on top of that pipe, so we don't create a weak spot. Weak spots create cracks. We don't want cracks. Even though concrete does crack, we want to control where it cracks. So like I said, we'll dig the ditch, we'll chisel out that footer and start laying some pipe. Okay, so I got my drop built. I used 245s. Just something about this. I know it's all right to use a 90 right there on a drop. Like I said earlier, when you're running your horizontal pipes, you never want to use a 90. You want to use 245s. I have my 3 to 4 inch bushing. Obviously, I didn't dig the I didn't cut the footer down as deep as I thought I was going to, but we're still going to have plenty of concrete on top of this pipe. We're going to have a 1/4 inch per foot of fall coming out, so that pipe will be about grade height. Well, our rough in grade height, probably about here, so we'll have plenty of room for stone on top of that. We'll run that down. I had to commandeer my tripod, my time-lapse tripod, to set my laser up. This is going to help me accurately get my 45 set. Now, I do want a nice, gentle, sweeping 90. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this set up so that I can take accurate measurements for my distance for this main run here. We're going to put some space in here. That way that waste is going to come down and take a nice, gentle turn rather than a tight, hard turn and then out that wall. No bubbles. No bubbles. Now, obviously, I can't spray the cap down. Actually, you know what? I might be able to get that. All right, guys, so I was able to get some soapy water on that cap. I couldn't really get a good shot of that. But I sprayed these down, all the fittings down a few times just to make sure I checked every section of these fittings. There are no bubbles whatsoever. So I think it's safe to say that hopefully this should pass inspection. We put 12 pounds of air in this piping system. Looks like it's holding pretty steady at that. Just now we play the waiting game. The inspector should be out here tomorrow to take a look at it so that I can get it prepped and ready for concrete on Friday. So yeah, today's Wednesday. Thursday morning, tomorrow morning he'll be out. Then Thursday afternoon I should be able to get over here, get it prepped and ready. I need to put the sill on for the garage. Obviously bring stone in, bring everything up to grade. Put the sill on for the, we're gonna do a garage door here. Just easier pulling a tractor in and out and whatever else we wanna put in here. So I need to do that and then spread plastic. No rebar in here, just with the exception of my lawnmower and a quad. It's not really gonna be getting heavy traffic like a full-size vehicle or really anything of substantial weight. It's more or less out of the elements. It should remain a pretty consistent temperature in here in terms of the concrete shrinking and expanding. We'll put saw cuts in it for crack protection. Sorry, just try to divert those cracks where we want them to go. But other than that, it's a pretty straightforward storage floor. So yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow when we're here prepping. All right, everybody, so we are back down here. Not too big of a deal. I just got off the phone with the inspector. The PSI, as we left it yesterday, was at 12. I showed up here today and it was at 11. Now, he said everything looks good. I did ask him though, hey, Was that because of the temperature swing, or what's the reason behind that? Possibilities, because yesterday when I was here doing this, it was about 60 degrees. Fast forward to today, and we're at like 30, actually 20s, I think. So he said it could be a temperature swing, it could be just a really slow leak. I did spray everything down with soapy water yesterday. I did it again just now. I still don't see any bubbles, so he said, if you want to make sure for peace of mind, pump it back up, put a little bit more pressure in the system, wait 15 minutes, and if it doesn't drop, you're good. So I said, okay. So pump that pipe back up to 15 psi, so we'll give it some time. I can get other stuff set up while I'm waiting. I got my material here for my sill and my lip board. My outside sill, we're going to be using 2x8 just to make sure we block the concrete off after we pad those walls out. Then our lip board, I'm going to use a 2x6 with a couple 1.5-inch returns. That way, since this is a 7-foot door, I want to make sure I give myself enough room everywhere, including where that door is going to land, to make sure, you know, we're not coming up short like the mistake I made in the garage. When I put my door bucks on, my womanized 2x6 is coming down from my garage door to actually anchor on. We need to make sure we have enough room there. But I also wanted to do an 1.5-inch lip, because since this is at patio elevation out here, if we ever get hit with some crazy sort of torrential downpour and that water doesn't drain that way fast enough, I have some comfort knowing it has to come up under the garage door and then flood over 1.5 inches high to get into the garage. Not to mention we're gonna have 2 to 3 inches of slope coming out of here. So that has gotta be good. So we're gonna go ahead, get the tripod camera set up and get going. All right, guys, sill and lip board are on. Like I said, I wanted to do a 2x6 to make sure I had enough room there. Plastic is spread, got every inch of that surface covered, which is nice. Last thing I need to do is hang plastic up over this doorway, try to keep some sort of heat in there. We could take it down tomorrow morning, pour, and then rehang it and get a heater going to help that concrete set up. So that is going to do it for tonight. I will see you guys bright and early for some concrete. Don't be late. All right, good morning everybody. So we have the generator started up, giving us some light in there, plus I have the heater running just to try to take the chill out of the air. I put in a couple pins on our lip board here to help keep that nice and level. It was tapering down, so we want to pick that up, keep that area nice and flat, so when we cut our slope in, it's all one nice big plane. We have a grade pin there we need to set and chalk lines, and then we are ready for concrete. All right, everybody, so the floor is poured. That went really smooth. As you can see, it's all nice and flat. It is bowl floated. The sill frost wall area is floated off nice and flat, so once we pull that lip board, we can go ahead and get that cleaned up. And as you guys can see, we plasticed off the door, try to keep as much heat in that room as possible. That way it helps the concrete set up a little bit faster. Now, I was trying to say this before, but my camera kept dying because it's cold. I got 0.5% of calcium in at the plant. That way, that concrete on the drive here, the drum's turning, the concrete's heating up naturally because, like I've said in past videos, it creates an exothermic reaction, which basically means it gives off heat. Heat makes concrete set up faster, so adding an accelerant like calcium, some people call it salt, whatever, that helps to speed up the curing time a little bit faster. So then once he got here, I added another bag, a full bag of calcium, which I believe is 2% in 10 yards. So I think 2.5%, if not it's 1.5%, I don't know. But either way, we added more calcium, so this concrete should be setting up pretty fast, especially with that heat, and that's what we want on these colder days. Now that all that's done and caught up, we're getting the garage door sills prepped, hopefully getting my garages poured early next week. And then while we're here doing that, we'll be working on the underground plumbing in the basement, maybe get that poured end of next week, beginning of the following week. So a lot of big things happening here. Always happy to see any sort of progress, but this kind of stuff really makes me happy because it takes a space that I've been looking at now for a few months and making it usable, and I'm just over the moon excited. So I really can't thank my dad, Jim and Matt, enough, as well as Jason, Denny, Jeff, all the guys at Thrower for taking such good care of us. But I really appreciate your guys' help. All right, everybody, so here it is. The floor the next day. Today is Saturday. It does feel a little bit soft. Obviously, it's tight enough that I can walk on it and not damage it, but the surface itself is a little bit on the softer side to saw cut. If you saw cut your concrete too early, it's gonna chip. It's not gonna look like a clean cut, so we'll give this till possibly tomorrow morning, maybe even Monday afternoon. But for our control cuts, when I do put them in, I'm gonna have two coming out this way, and they're actually gonna line up right with the corner of my doors. So two weak spots that could potentially crack we'll have covered, and then we'll come in 4 feet. So we line up with this corner here, get some relief off that corner. We'll do center here, and then 3 feet off that back wall for symmetrical reasons. But that should be more than enough saw cuts in this floor to help not prevent cracking, because all concrete cracks, but to control where the cracking happens. You know, anybody that tells you their concrete doesn't crack or whatever, they're lying. All concrete cracks. It's one of the guarantees that we can make about it. But yeah, I mean, start to finish, this floor was pretty simple. Came in, roughed out the grade again, got everything nice and level, dug a ditch, even though I didn't really need a ditch dug that deep. Got our pipe put in, all our fittings and everything, passed inspection. The gauge is still holding at 15 psi. Now I did have the heater running in here all night. I wanted to mention that real quick. You probably can hear the generator running outside, but heater was running all night, so it's probably, I want to say 45 to 50 degrees in here. I can see my breath, so it's a little on the chilly side, but overall it's above freezing in here, which is what we were looking for. I actually even brought a heat blanket down from my garage to help cover up that sill frost wall area, help keep that heat in as much as we could. But yeah, I mean, I really can't thank the guys at work enough. My dad, Matt, and Jim, after we were done doing this, those guys jumped up top and got the garages prepped, so we'll be pouring those, I believe Tuesday, which is going to be really nice. So a little bit more prep work in that, not much, but you guys will see that here in another video. But yeah, I mean, Matt, Dad, Jim, thank you guys for your help here. It's always neat getting to work with you guys on our personal house and just kind of, you know, making some memories here. So, you know, regardless, this is a storage area for now. Later on down the road, maybe a small wood shop, maybe a workout room. I don't know. For right now, storage area. So nice trowel finished concrete floor, nothing fancy, nothing decorative. We don't really need that right now. Yeah, pretty cut and dry, but I didn't put rebar in it because there's no heavy traffic. The heaviest thing this floor is going to ever see is my lawnmower. I mean, yeah, we don't need rebar. There's no cars, you know, there's no trucks, there's not a whole lot of heavy traffic on it. So the rebar, the wire, the reinforcements in concrete, all that really does is keep the concrete from separating, because like I just said, all concrete cracks. So that rebar and wire just keeps the concrete from separating. Now, we are in a big giant concrete room. If it cracks, it's gonna hairline crack, but it's not gonna go anywhere. It's not gonna shift. It's not gonna separate and pull because of erosion. This floor is staying here. So, yeah, I mean, I think I pretty much covered everything, so I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Gunpowder and Freedom. If you like what you saw, please click the like and subscribe. Don't forget to like us on Instagram, and don't forget to check out the description for some product links. I say it every video, I'll continue to say it. I cannot tell you guys how much I appreciate everybody's support. It truly, truly means more than words can ever say. So thank you guys, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next time.